All right, guys, make a quick crypto video here. Sorry, my last one was the audio was really messed up on it. Bitcoin coming in at 107,610, Ethereum 2,423. Altcoins holding on. We want to see altcoins get back to where they were a couple weeks ago before this whole Iran thing. And I think they are. You know, a lot of people are talking right now. I was listening to Rand Nooner today talking about how he might not have a traditional type alt season. Whatever, guys, we're having an alt season. It might not be the blowout crazy alt season. You know, I was just thinking like the other day, like if you were like 2 years ago, I was thinking maybe we'll get like a $20 Cardano or a $15 Cardano this alt season. Maybe we'll get a $30 Theta or a $2,000 Litecoin. Obviously, none of that's happening, but we're still getting at least 3-4x in a lot of these altcoins. And when you go lower down the list, we're going to be doing a lot better than that. I mean, when you look at XRP right here, I think we're definitely getting a $5 XRP. We're going to talk about a little bit more about XRP, Litecoin, Cardano, because we have major ETFs coming up for these coins, which should minimally double. I made a video about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I said I'm going to be doing a lot of trades because I'm very, very bored. I'm trading right now. I bought a bunch of Cardano. I bought some, what did I buy? Cardano and Litecoin. Now, you guys know I have long-term bags for Cardano and Litecoin, but I have a trading bag now for Cardano and Litecoin. I'm looking to sell my trading bag of Cardano between 80 cents and 90 cents, and I'm looking to sell my trading bag of Litecoin between 120 and 130. And I think we're going to get there sometime in July. So no matter what's happening in the market, I don't care how bullish things are. I don't care what the hell is going on. I'm selling my Cardano and my Litecoin at that point, which will be between a 50% and an 80% rise in those two coins. So that's kind of what I'm doing with those bags. As far as my long-term bags for Cardano, definitely selling some at $1. I'm selling more at $1.50, and I'll probably be mostly out by $2 if we get there. Same with Litecoin. Now, the reason these coins I still am extremely bullish on, we have ETFs coming up on these coins. Rand Nooner talks about that a little bit. He kind of goes down the list. Any coin that has an ETF coming up in 2025, next couple months, we're going to see major, major moves. So let's hear what Rand Nooner has to say about some of these coins.
We know retail money isn't going to push this market up unless you're in the trenches. So we need to anticipate where the Wall Street money is going to go. Guys, for those of you who were here in 2021 and in 2017, and for those of you who enjoyed the cycle, I was there too. I loved that cycle. We're not going to get that kind of alt season ever again. So we can sit here and we can talk about the good old days. You know, like your parents always say, you know, in the good old days, Let's talk about the good old days. Meet me at the pub. We can have a beer. We can talk about the good old days. But we should now forget about those old days, and we should start looking forward into what this new alt season is going to be. And I think the main thing we have to remember is that when things become institutional, they become kind of boring. Bitcoin became institutional. Bitcoin's kind of boring. ETH became institutional. ETH is kind of boring, right? It is what it is. We need to anticipate where the flow of money is going to come and where it's going to go. And I think that I've narrowed it down to 4 places where the flow of money is going to go from the institutions. And that's, unfortunately, the only money that's going to push up crypto unless you're trading in the trenches. So let's look at the 4 sectors individually. The first sector is a pretty easy sector. And that is, guys, there are a whole lot of ETFs that are coming, right? No brainer. There's a whole lot of ETFs coming. There's the deadlines for every single one of those ETFs. There's a Solana ETF, which is probably going to be approved in the next month. There is a Litecoin ETF, which is probably going to get approved pretty soon. There are a whole lot of ETFs. Become familiar with the tokens that are going to get ETFs.
And if you look at this list of ETFs, I mean, these are pretty much mostly coins that we own. You got Solana on there, which, you know, I'm not a big fan of, but Solana is going to do well. Litecoin should have an ETF, I believe, at any moment. I was just looking up some Litecoin news. I mean, really within the next month or so, we should get something on that. Same with Cardano, which is on this list, Sui, Dogecoin, XRP. So a lot of these coins that we've been talking about are getting ETFs. So even if you just want to trade, I think there's amazing trade possibilities with those coins. Definitely you can double your money very, very easily. And for a long-term hold, I think, you know, we'll definitely 2x. I think Cardano is definitely going to 2x from here. Litecoin's going to 2x. I hear a lot of people talking like, oh, you should just be buying Bitcoin. Bitcoin already had most of its gains. We're going to be lucky to see $130,000, $140,000 Bitcoin this cycle. Yeah, I mean, but Bitcoin was great 2 years ago when you can get it $15,000, $20,000. The money right now is going to be in altcoins. And I've been pretty much right about everything I've been saying, especially with world events, this whole Iran war, everybody freaking out about it. Even I made a video yesterday about it, like all the Trump people freaking out about this Iran war. Like it was a nothing burger. It was all a nothing burger. Tucker Carlson having a full blown like a woman. He reminded me of my wife. Like Tucker Carlson reminded me of my wife just bitching. Like, I hate to say it. Like, he's a woman. Tucker Carlson is a woman. So a lot of these people freaking out, they're just overly emotional people. Do not follow overly emotional people in these crypto markets. You will lose every single penny. It happens every single cycle. It's just common sense at this point. So we're entering into that phase right now. The Iran war is basically finished. There's a ceasefire. Yeah, there's going to be little hiccups. There's going to be a little like Iran does this, Israel does this. Now they're trying to come out and say, now CNN, they're so desperate. CNN is now coming out saying, well, the bunker buster bombs didn't really take out the nuke sites. And now all the intelligence is coming out basically saying, no, it pretty much took it out. Like it really... I don't know why CNN wants to die on this hill of just anti-Trump everything. It's going to put them completely out of business. Even if like these bunker buster bombs, like here's the bunker buster bombs right here. This is just stock footage. They launched 8 of these bunker busting bombs. I don't care if these bunker busting bombs didn't even hit their nuke target 100%. Trust me, these nuke sites are completely wiped out. If you look at the kind of damage these bombs can cause, I mean, everything's been caved in. Everything was underground and everything's been caved in. It's going to take them years and years to rebuild what the United States did with these bunker busting bombs. Extremely, extremely devastating. And that's what all the intelligence is saying, except for CNN coming out saying, well, it didn't really do all that much. It's like, the same people that told you Hunter Biden, wasn't really a crackhead. The laptop was fake. The people who told you that Donald Trump was a Russian spy for 4 years. Now they're coming out saying, these bunker busters didn't do anything. It's almost like they're part of Iranian state TV at this point. It really does make me sick. But you just got to ignore all that stuff, guys. Here's Trump talking about it a little bit.
Go ahead. Oh, fake news, CNN?
Here, I'll hold it.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Wait till you hear this question.
Thank you, sir.
You should really say how great our soldiers and our warriors are.
I think everyone appreciates our soldiers and our warriors. I do have 2 questions for you, Mr. President. You just cited Israeli intelligence on these attacks. Earlier, you said U.S. intelligence was inconclusive. Are you relying on Israeli intelligence for your assessment of the impact of the strikes?
No, this is also Iran made the statement. And it's also, if you read the document that was given, that Pete can talk about if you'd like, the document said it could be very severe damage, but they didn't take that. They said it could be limited or it could be very severe. They really didn't know, other than to say it could be limited or it could be very, very severe. And you didn't choose to put that because it was very early after. Since then, we've...
So here's the deal with that report that came out, which I find to be fascinating. A leaked report came out right after the bombs went off, and they did an initial assessment. And the initial assessment said, too early to tell. It could be devastating or not so much. We just don't know yet. This was like an hour after it happened. CNN took that report and left out the part where it said it could be devastating. They just put the part in that said, well, it may not have done all that much, which is how you know it's completely fake news. Not only that, it was illegally leaked by some general or something like that, and now there's an FBI investigation to even figure out who leaked it. So that guy's probably going to end up going to jail. And the reporter that they leaked it to was the same reporter who came out and said the Hunter Biden laptop story was fake. So you kind of know where all this is going. It really is a big freaking joke. I really think CNN probably by this time next year is going to be completely out of business. But you have to ignore all the fake news. I find it to be fascinating, but you have to ignore all that stuff. The Iran war, look, if the bunker buster bombs were not effective, why would Iran have come out 2 days later and wanted a ceasefire and wanted to make a deal? Right? That's not how life works. That's not how life works, right? Like, just like in World War II, we dropped the nuclear bomb and then Japan decided to make a deal, right? If the nuclear bomb didn't do anything, it was a dud, Japan would not have come out and made a deal. So anyway, that's my thoughts on that. Getting back to crypto, I think we're set up right now. I think we're set up right now for an alt season. I've said it a million times. Yeah, we're not going to get crazy alt prices, but we've already gotten some. Like, you have to understand, like, a lot of people complain about altcoins. You have to understand, guys, I still hold Cardano that I bought at 2 cents. I sold most of it, but I sold some. A lot of the Cardano I hold right now, I bought at 20 cents about a year and a half ago. I bought some at 35 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents. I bought some last week for a trade at about 55. It was a 52 cents. I bought some last week. I forget what it was, 52 or 55 cents. Like, if Cardano gets to $1.50, I'm buying like another rental property. Like, you have to understand, like, I don't need a $15 Cardano. I need a $1.50 Cardano. I need a $2 Cardano. I don't need a $30 Theta. I need a $5 Theta. Even a $3 Theta, I made like $100,000. Like, you have to understand, I got into a lot of these coins very, very long ago. So when people say there's not going to be an alt season, a lot of these altcoins are already up. I can sell my Cardano right now, and I'm in 6 figures in Cardano because I bought most of my Cardano at 2 cents, 10 cents, 20 cents. I can sell my Theta right now at like 60 cents or 50 cents, and I still made money on it. I can sell my Litecoin, hasn't even dumped all that much. I can sell my XRP. I made a video when I bought my XRP 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, at 35 cents. Obviously, I can sell my XRP right now at $2.20, and I made a ton of money. So people who are saying there isn't going to be an alt season or is not an alt season, we're in alt season. The altcoins have already pumped. They're already doing well. We're at 220 XRP. Litecoin, for example, $84 Litecoin, and we got a Litecoin ETF right around the corner. We're in alt season. I get it. It's not parabolic. It's not like it was a couple years ago, but that's not what I'm looking for, okay? I'm not looking for Cardano to go to $100. I'm looking for Cardano to go to $1.50, $2, maybe best case scenario $3. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, okay? And I think we're going to get it. Same with XRP. Come on, XRP, get to $3, $4 and made a ton of money. Same with Doge. If Doge just doubles from where it is right now, and there is a Dogecoin ETF coming out, I made a ton of money, and you guys should have too. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of good stuff around the corner. We also have rate cuts. So Jerome Powell came out yesterday or today. He said the only reason he hasn't done rate cuts right now is because he's not sure if Trump is going to be still talking about tariffs. So that was basically Trump's hint to kind of stop with the tariffs. And Trump has pretty much already made most of these tariff deals, and you really haven't heard Trump talk too much about tariffs. So once this tariff thing dies down in about a month, you're going to see Jerome Powell come out and say, we're going to do a rate cut. And at that point, we should be in full-blown alt season anyway, and that's going to put us into that parabolic phase where everybody gets back into these risk assets like, Ethereum, Litecoin, some of these stinky pinky cryptos, Vulcan Forge, Dogecoin, and that's when we're going to see them go parabolic. So, like I said, guys, everything's on track. The whole Iran thing was all noise. I made a video the other day. I said anybody who came out complaining about this whole drop in the bomb on Iran's nuclear facility, they're not real Republicans. They're basically crybabies. I was saying in my video the other day, the people who complained about what Trump did in Iran, they exposed themselves. Just like during COVID. I lost so many friends during COVID who I thought were kind of like more like Republican, independent people, free thinkers, and they were the same people where they started to wear masks. They started to like not hang out with people because they weren't vaccinated. Kids' friends weren't allowed over my house because my kids weren't vaccinated. Like, all those people exposed themselves. And what did I do? I cut them out of my life. I stopped hanging out with them. And I'm doing the same thing now with the people who got upset over Iran. I don't listen to Tucker Carlson anymore. Major Taylor Greene, whatever her name is, a lot of these other YouTubers who are like bitching at Trump for taking out the nuke facilities. I don't listen to them anymore. They expose themselves as fake MAGA people. They expose themselves as fake, not Republicans, but fake Trump supporters. So now I'm actually glad this happened because I do not support those people anymore. And I don't listen to them anymore. When I even see Tucker Carlson now, I just see him as a big goober. I see goober. I don't even see him as like a real person. Like he might be, I think he's like on drugs or something, to be honest with you. I don't know. I think he has a drug problem because he doesn't, his reaction during the Iran little skirmish was, I don't know. It was like almost like something you'd see like a 45-year-old divorced woman doing like after she had a few drinks. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, but like he reminded me of a woman. Like a woman. It was a huge turnoff to me. So anyway, guys, with that said, Bitcoin working its way back to all-time highs. I'm going to say the same thing I've been saying for a long time. Bitcoin has to get back up to all-time highs. Then you're going to see the higher cap altcoins start pumping. Then the lower cap, and we're just going to kind of go from there. I agree with Rand Nooner on this one. All these altcoins with ETFs coming out, there's a lot of them. It's hard to kind of, let me see if I can blow this up a little bit. But all of these ones at the top of the list have a 95%. Okay, odds of approval in 2025. For the Litecoin one, 95%, Solana 95%, XRP 95%, Cardano 95%. Polkadot, 95%. That might not be a bad buy. Near Protocol, Avalanche. These are all the ones on the top of the list. But look at number one. Number one is Litecoin. I've been an investor in Litecoin since 2017. I've made money on it every cycle, regardless of what anybody says. When I got into Litecoin in 2017, I bought it. It jumped. I kept buying more. My Litecoin bought me a car when I sold it in 2021. I fully expect my Litecoin to buy me another car. I'm due for another car when I sell my Litecoin probably within the next couple months, especially with the ETF coming out. That doesn't mean Litecoin's going to $1,000. It means Litecoin might triple or quadruple from here. It means Litecoin might go from $80 to $400 or $300 or something like that. And that's kind of what I'm looking at. Same with Cardano. There's no reason Cardano cannot get to $1.50, $2. We already got $1.30 Cardano back in January. We're definitely getting $1.50, $2 Cardano. Will we get much more than that? I don't know. If I had to bet on it, probably not. Maybe, $3 might be best case scenario. But keep in mind, guys, a lot of these coins are going to do very, very well. And like I said, I'm trading now. I have two trading accounts right now, Crypto.com and Robinhood, and I'm actively trading. I'm waiting to get these 50% price pumps. I'm going to be dumping out after that. I'm looking to buy some other coins to trade right now. I'm actually a lot more interested in crypto now that I'm trading. And things are good, guys, in this whole Iran war. Everybody freaking out over this Iran war. Oh, my God, World War III. Oh, no, everything's going to zero. Trump got us into a war. Like, all these people, it's like, man, like, what pathetic losers. Like, you got to ignore these people, guys. If you don't ignore these people, you're just not going to make any money.
You see, unlike Bitcoin and ETH this time round, when the ETFs of Bitcoin and ETH were approved, there were massive grayscale trust overhangs, which then had to be sold into the market, right? For the other coins, there's no massive grayscale trust overhangs, which means that the ETFs, when they approved, is 100% new demand. Right, simple. 100% new demand. So, the ETFs, 100% new demand. Okay, well then, just put money into the tokens when there's an ETF that's imminent. Become familiar with when the ETFs are coming out and put money into it and then chill and wait for the ETF to get approved. And then when the ETF gets approved, just take your money.
Simple as that, guys. Simple as that. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. All right, guys, like and subscribe. Talk to you later.